8th Street looked more like a waterfall than the city's busiest road. The culverts couldn't handle the massive amounts of rain and snowmelt. To prevent this from happening again, a bridge.
We are in the final steps now of doing the engineering and drafting and work to replace the culverts behind us here on 8th Street with a permanent bridge.
Designing and engineering is underway. Construction isn't expected to break ground until at least 2018. Once the drafting is finished, the cost of the bridge will be determined, though the provincial government will fund it through the BC on the Move plan.
This funding here specifically is out of the Ministry of Transportation, out of government. We have our 10-year On the Move program where we're looking at infrastructure right around the province.
The plan was introduced in 2014 as a 10-year initiative to improve infrastructure throughout the province. And because this is a provincial project, the city will work together with the government to ensure plans and alternate routes will be in the best interest of the public.
It's such a busy street that I don't think you could do it any other way but diverting traffic in some way. But it'll be a diversion, I would think, around the construction area and not through town. It's just too busy with too much big traffic to do it any other way. So I'm assuming that'll be part of the planning process, and we'll certainly engage with the ministry as that goes forward.
Though we still have some time before we'll see this new government-funded bridge completed, the 15th Street Bridge had a similar story, though it was completely destroyed by the floods. That's expected to be finished as soon as May.
It's probably the 1st of May, depending on weather, as long as it warms up and it's dry. Contractor will be back in. We'll peel back the temporary decking that we put on and the gravel approaches, and they'll have to put a seal barrier on the deck of the bridge. They'll rebuild the approaches, and then they will complete the paving and necessary works to finish it off. So we're anticipating most of May that road will be closed for that work.
The 10th Street Bridge is also in for a rebuild. The city will fund that project, and because it wasn't damaged during the flood, engineers have had a little more time to design it and plan alternate routes.
We'll have to be diverting people around on McKellar Avenue and then over to 15th Street, and then to get across, that's probably the closest store over to 8th Street. And we're looking at the possibility of having a temporary pedestrian access bridge, so at least pedestrian traffic can get through. So we'll look at that as we go through the tendering process, and if that's possible at all, we're going to look at that.
And although it seems like a lot, the 2 city bridges will be completed before ground breaks on the 8th Street Bridge project, and alternate routes through our city's busiest highway will be determined once drafting of that project is completed. Kendall, Robertson, CJDC-TV News, Dawson Creek.